In that last track, while I was working with the pop sound, I noticed that some of the articulations were different from what I expected. Articulation is the way a horn player is playing something. They can use their tongue more, they can buzz, they can do all sorts of different things that are consistent and expected of a horn player. You have the ability to switch between these articulations based on the velocity, the way you play, when you're in performance mode. Keep in mind, we have two different modes, key switching mode and performance mode. We have the solo instruments, which are a little different and handled differently, but right now we're talking about the two main NKI files, key switch and performance. With performance mode, the whole idea, impetus behind it, is that you are performing with these instruments. You might be using them live, or you might be recording with them, but you're playing on a MIDI keyboard. Therefore, you are deciding by the velocity or power at which you play what type of articulation or what type of sound you're going to use. Performance mode is made up, basically, of three components: your main sound, your threshold adjustment, and then your velocity switch. Your main sound is this first box here. You can have vibrato or non-vibrato. If I play below the velocity threshold, you can hear now that there's no vibrato. If I flip it over to vibrato, we have a little bit of that natural vibrato. And you can remember that the humanize knob over here is going to induce some slightly different timing, tuning, and velocity variations. Therefore, that adjustment can have an effect on which velocity area you're going to wind up in. If you want it to be 100% married to exactly what you're doing, you're going to want to turn the humanize switch off, turn it all the way down to 0. I'm not so concerned about that right now. On the other end of things, we have above the threshold, and that's where we can pick a velocity switch. So there's a big selection of menus here where I can pick rips, and if I hit it hard enough, you'll hear it. Now, you have to be careful when playing with multiple fingers, chords, or using multiple hands, because it is possible to play one below a velocity threshold and one above. So if I pick one of these different articulations and I play left hand soft below it and the right hand hard above it, uh-oh, I've got one note still sounding there in the left hand, and it's not going to go away till I let go. So that's something that you want to keep track of while you're playing with articulation to make more convincing sounds. Something we'll do next.